Someday when we close the book on A'ja Wilson's career, this might be the moment. It might be the image that we all put on page one. 2.2 seconds on the clock, and number 22 hits the series-changing shot. The degree of difficulty when everybody knows you're taking the shot, it couldn't be higher. But the Aces, they now hold a commanding 3-0 lead. We are watching the GOAT in real time. So how exactly did we get to this shot? Well, it all happened out of a timeout. 5 seconds left. Here's what Jackie Young said to A'ja Wilson.
Right before that, I told her to end it.
So on the inbounds, they get it to Wilson, who gets to her spot and hits the jumper. 0.3 seconds left. Another look at this one. The degree of difficulty so high. Here was our Ryan Ruocco on the call.
Gray gets it in. Wilson on the drive. The fade. You bet! You bet! A'ja Wilson with 0.1 to go.
I just need the bucket to go in. I didn't really see who was in front of me. I didn't care. This is the finals. You got to make shots.
AT completely left Megan and went over, but it was. It did make her a little late. She paused for a second while Jack was coming off that, and then when she went back to go get A was kind of already up into her spin and shot.
So now, of course, it was Wilson who hit the shot, but Becky Hammon made the decision of the night. So let's rewind back to how the Aces got to that timeout with 5 seconds left. Jackie Young has the ball, and as she goes to drive, keep an eye right here on Becky Hammon. Jackie thought she got past her defender, but Becky didn't like what she saw. Here's Hammon on what she wanted to draw up.
Give the ball to A'ja and get out of the way. That's all the play was.
Well, Wilson was the hero of the game. Let's bring in the man who called the shot, our Ryan Ruocco, joining us now. Because first things first, can you confirm ever what I just said? We were texting last night. Is this the first ever W bet that you've ever called in your career?
I know this is what all the people really want to know, the hard news, Malika. It is. It is, in fact, the first ever W bet. That is confirmed.
It is confirmed that it is the first ever W bet. So now that we have that out of the way, what was it like in the arena? Everyone knows she's getting the ball. Everyone knows that is her spot.
Yeah, it's incredible, Malika. I think the thing you pointed out is so critical to what happened. And it's just a signature shot for the player who is obviously tracking to go down as the greatest player in this league's history.
I'm just about ready to go there, Ryan. I'm just about ready to stop with all of the qualifiers and say, if she gets this one more win and another title, I'm just about ready to drop all of those qualifiers. But you're right, that timeout from Becky Hammon, I was screaming at the TV, call a timeout, call a timeout. She waited and waited until the perfect moment. You've called, Ryan, countless WNBA Finals. Is that the biggest shot that you have ever called?
That's a good question. I like playing that game. I think that, it definitely is up there. I think Sabrina's in Game 3 last year in the finals. Series was 1-1. Maya's in 2015. Series was 1-1 in those finals. Nneka's putback in Game 5 of 2016 against Minnesota
tremendous.
Is probably just the overall biggest made bucket that I've gotten to call. But when you think about A'ja, who she is to this league, who she is to women's basketball, you and I talking about her being the actual GOAT, I think it very well could end up being, because that is the signature shot in her career up till this point. And, that's what's cool about what we get to do, right? Is getting to document greatness, getting to help be part of the soundtrack that helps make those moments come to life. That's why, this business can be like a drug to us, right? That's why we love it. And so it definitely is up at the top of the list when you think about just, the kind of player A'ja is and what that shot is in her career.
Yeah. We can go on and on about the brilliance that we saw of A'ja Wilson, how the Aces, right, are on the brink of really solidifying that dynasty. But there's still another game to be played, right? And there's so much beyond that iconic shot to last night. So let's get to one of the most important statuses of the Phoenix Mercury, right? Let's get to forward Satou Sabally. Because with just under 5 minutes remaining in this game in the fourth quarter, Sabally's head, really tough to watch here, slams into Kirsten Bell. She fell to the floor chasing a rebound, and immediately she grabbed her face. She spent an extended amount of time on the ground, was eventually assisted off the court, did not return to the game. A really scary sight to see there in Phoenix. So, Kendra, what is the latest on Sabally's status here?
Yeah, Malika, Satou Sabally, she has been diagnosed with a concussion and she will not be available for the Mercury in Game 4 tomorrow night. You could see that she took a really long time to get up off the ground, appeared very uneasy as she had to be helped back down on the floor before she was able to get up and assisted off of the floor. So again, Satou Sabally, she will not be playing tomorrow with a concussion. She was evaluated last night and officially ruled out just now.
Oh, that's brutal news here for Phoenix, who's in an 0-3 hole and now will be without Sabally. They're going to try to get back into this one. Alexa, what is Phoenix's path forward here? What are you hearing about how they're viewing this challenge ahead?
Yeah, Malika, well, after the game, Nate Tibbetts addressed the locker room, and he said, look, we can't sugarcoat it. This is a tough road ahead. They are trying to lean on the fact that they've had to fight this whole playoffs long. Of course, they overcame that 0-2 deficit to start the first round, or 0-1 deficit in the first round and 0-1 deficit as well in the semifinals. There was a few games where they came back from double-digit deficits to win as well. But it's really going to have to start with their defense. I thought it was really notable how Alyssa Thomas said that their first half defense yesterday was unacceptable. She said shame on them for not coming out and starting better on that end of the floor. That's going to have to change if they want any hope of trying to make this series, competitive and not just get swept. And I was with Kalia Copper after the game too, and she was asked about the possibility of getting swept, and she said, hell no, as a competitor, that is the last thing that we want to do. They have to take pride in making sure that, especially playing in front of their home crowd, that they are able to get at least one game here. It's going to have to be one game at a time, though, and it's going to have to start by building off some of the success that they had in the second half of yesterday's game. Of course, A'ja Wilson's shot made sure that was kind of a footnote to such a really incredible game.
Yeah, I mean, they dug themselves out of that 17-point deficit, and just A'ja Wilson's shot was just a little bit too much. The road gets that much tougher without Satou Sabally here coming up in Game 4. Ladies, thank you so very much. We'll be seeing you ahead of that potential closeout game in Phoenix.